My dad came to the emergency room to this hospital, Hackensack Mountainside Meridian in Glenridge/Montclair. My dad, while he was driving the car, he said to me, do you see blood coming out of, do you see blood in my mouth? He opened his mouth wide, and all I could see was blood gushing from the back of his throat down his tongue. And I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Like, we had to go to the emergency room, and we were 4 minutes away anyway, so we came to this emergency room. And then I kept asking my dad to open his mouth, and there was just blood everywhere, blood every single where. And then when we got at the parking lot, and I said, Dad, open your mouth just so I could see what's happening. All I could see was just blood from the back of his throat, just gushing out, like his tongue. All I could see, and then he would just like hold it in his mouth and then just spit it out, and it would just be blood all over, just blood. And I took him to this emergency room because I was afraid. And when I came into the emergency room, we saw the doctor, Dr. Eric Sherman, Mountainside. And the first thing he said to me, he said, what happened? I explained to him what happened. I used the word gushing out because it was just a bunch of blood coming out. And what he said to me was, blood wasn't gushing out because there's no blood on his clothes. And I didn't say anything because I was just like, I'm just here to help. I don't ever want to start any problems. And it was him and another doctor in the room, and I told him what happened, and he said he opened my dad's mouth and saw that my dad had a little cut here, and it was dried up. The cut is almost healed, so there's no way it would cause this much blood inside of his mouth. And me, my sister, and even my dad said no, the blood was not coming from that cut. And he said, well, there's no blood coming out right now because the blood had already stopped by the time the doctor came, because we waited for a long time in that waiting room. The doctor said there's no blood, so I'm just going to send him home without any further testing. I said, no, you have to do some type of testing because I'm scared. Like, I don't know where it's coming from. Is it coming from his stomach or something? I said, like, maybe like do some swab tests, because I've seen like a swab test where people can test for blood when they put it down your throat. I said, at least do that to check if it was coming down his throat. And he said there's nothing else to be done. And he was going to send us home, and I said, no, like, I don't want to go home. You have to do some testing to see where the blood is coming from. And he told me to stop yelling. Oh, I need you to stop yelling. Why are you yelling? Stop yelling. And I wasn't even yelling. I'm just worried for my dad's health, and I just want him to get help because I saw just blood gushing out, and it was the scariest thing ever. And he told me, and I pulled out my phone and I started recording, and he told me to get out. He's going to get security to gush me out. He was very dismissive the very first time I told him, blood is gushing out of my dad's mouth, like throat, blood is coming out. He told me that it couldn't have been gushing out. Oh, no, it wasn't, because there's no blood on his clothes. Mind you, my dad was spitting blood all over. It was blood filling out his mouth. He was spitting blood all over the place. And I was so shocked. I've never experienced that. And the fact that he told me to stop yelling, why are you yelling? I've never experienced anything like that. And it's just consistently getting worse to experience something like this. It makes you feel like you're less than a human. All I came here was just to get help for my dad. And even if you couldn't do any more testing, the least you could do is try to understand why I'm worried about my dad. Just do something. And after persisting for so long, after going back and forth for him for like 2 minutes straight, you have to do something. Then he was like, oh, maybe I could do some blood tests. He was going to send my dad home without anything done. I've never experienced anything like that. After I was like, he said he was going to call security. So I said, Dad, you know what? Let's go somewhere to another hospital. I went outside, and then I already walked to the car, and I was like, no, I have to go back inside to file a report. This is unacceptable. I went back to the front desk, and I told them what happened. And even the people there, they were shaking their head. They were shocked that something like that ever happened. It was 2 white men. The doctor's name is Eric Sherman, and he's located at Hackensack Mountainside Meridian in Glenridge/Montclair. It's unacceptable. And I know we were treated that way because we were black. I know we were, and then another thing that he asked me was, is your dad seeing your blood in his urine? And I told him yes. My dad did complain about a week ago or two, that he was seeing blood in his urine. He completely dismissed that, even after he asked me that question. All he did was, I don't see any blood in his mouth, so I'm just gonna send him home. And the fact that he was persistent, saying, oh, you're yelling, you're being loud, and I wasn't being loud. I was just advocating for my dad.